What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Miles. We're going over Velo Bootcamp Day 1. We're going to go over the lifting, the mobility, the throwing, everything from start to beginning every single day for 90 days. And we're going to track my progress. We're going to track y'all's progress. It's going to be awesome, okay? So, first of all, I'm going to go over lifting. So if you're young enough or if you're old enough to lift, you can follow this to a T. If you're not old enough to lift, just cut out the lifting part. Do everything else, okay? We're gonna do this every single day, 90 days, see the progress, okay? I'm starting off right now, 170 pounds, just threw 94 my last bullpen. So that's my basic building grounds, okay? There's a clip of me throwing 94 last week.
94 miles per hour.
Okay, now you know I'm not lying. We're gonna see where we go from here. So the first lift we're gonna go over, or more like a warm-up, is just gonna be these single leg toe touches almost, in a sense. Nothing crazy, just like I use a 5-pound kettlebell, just really loosening up the hamstrings and the hips. I want to focus on keeping my back straight and my back leg straight at the same time while I'm going down. Just nice and loose and getting the hamstrings opened up for my lift. And the second one is going to be a single leg like pistol squat onto a bench or a box or whatever, just about 90 degrees. This is just getting the quads and the back hip. Similarly to where we drop, we want to focus on dropping down into our heel and starting to squat into our heel and forming a good habit of not getting over our toes. And yeah, this is just a warm-up, 5-pound kettlebell. And next we're going to go into, similarly, we're going to reach under as far as we can and come up over the top and reach back as far as we can. This is just loosening the hips, keeping our legs straight as we go through it the whole time. We want to close our hips down, and as we close our hips down, we open them up as far as we can. This is loosening the hips and the hamstrings, and it's really just opening up our lower half for our lift. And this also is going to translate to when we are using our hips, pitching or throwing to create velocity. So this is good. It's a warm-up and a workout. Next is going to be a powerful RDL. So it's all hamstrings. So we're keeping our legs straight. We're going to bend down and grab the dumbbell. And then as we grab the dumbbell, we're going to fire up, keeping our back in a good position. The whole time we're going to fire up as fast as we can. Okay, this is creating fast twitch into our hamstrings, which is going to really help us on the mound. Okay. Now next we're going to go into just a drop. Okay, this is practicing our drop phase and building strength in our back hip and in our hamstring and our glute. So all this is just dropping. See, I don't have to squat up on one leg. It's on a single leg squat. That's practicing pushing off the mound. We don't push, we rotate, we use gravity. So this is just creating strength and through our drop phase, okay? So it's just a single leg pistol squat with weight, dropping down at 90. Next, we're gonna tie a band around our knees and just do a box squat. So again, we're dropping into our heel. We're activating our glute. That's all we're doing here. This is really gonna build our hips, and it's gonna really help us to fire our hips through the rotation phase. Also strengthening our hips too. Whenever we squat down into our drop, we're creating power now. We're building that power. Now, next is gonna be kind of a different one, okay? So we're gonna go legs spread out pretty wide, not too wide, and we're just gonna stay down into our heel just like we always do. We're practicing the same habit over and over and over again. We're squatted down into our heel, and we're just going side to side, okay? Opening up that groin, and it's also building strength without even noticing it. You'll feel it in your groin once you do it, but it's a groin workout. Next, we're gonna grab like a 5 or 10 pound. We're gonna swing under and come up, okay? This is building our T-spine mobility. Now that the lift is starting to wind down, okay, we're building T-spine mobility by just reaching through as far as we can and then coming up as far back as we can with a weight, okay? Just opening up our spine so that we can create more separation throughout the delivery. Every single lift we do has a purpose, and every workout has a purpose. Now, lastly, to wrap up our workout, we're gonna do spinal decompression. So you can just do this by hanging off of a bar or a pull-up rack or whatever. And all we're doing is we're just letting our body loosen up. Take deep breaths. Try to let that spine decompress, okay? I like to wiggle side to side a little bit, as you can see. I feel like that really helps my spine to just slowly decompress even further. So when I'm rolling out, I really want to try to keep my butt on the ground and my shoulders down. This creates spine mobility. And then I also have started to implement these where I cross over, just trying to loosen my lower back up so I can create more separation. This is just something that I personally need to work on, and a lot of us need to work on as well. It's just always beneficial to have as much spine mobility as possible. Now next, we're gonna roll out our outer hips. A lot of us are really tight in our outer hips, so we get it on both sides. And this breaks up that hard tissue that's developing. Now the next is gonna be our groin. Same thing, our groins are really tight, our outer hips are really tight. We're able to move front and back with our hamstrings, but we gotta move side to side as well. So next we're gonna go into our mobility. So we're gonna start sitting up and slowly work our way down to where we're laying on the floor like this and we're laying relaxed. Now next we're gonna lay over our body and slowly reach out, take deep breaths, each time reaching out a little bit further. Now this one is gonna be our front hip flexor. We're gonna throw our arm back and lean back into it, trying to create as much of a stretch as possible. And we're gonna just kick our leg out, keep our leg straight, touch our toes, simple, get our hamstring going. Both sides, we do this on both sides. Now our groin rockers, we all do these on our lessons, but we're just slowly rocking back. Now these are gonna be our pigeon stretch. So we're just leaning over, trying to touch our shoulder to our knee. Now we go to our upper body as our mobility. So we have our arm at 90, and we're just stretching out that chest, getting a good, feeling it deep. And now our straight arm. So this one we should feel in our chest, our shoulder, our bicep. Then we go to our forearm. It's really important that we do these because these are gonna keep our flexor and our forearm from tightening up. It's gonna protect our UCL from Tommy John. Now we're just gonna grab and then with our top hand push off. This is gonna stretch that rhomboid in our back, that muscle between our spine and our shoulder blade. Then we're gonna do where we grab it and we lean backwards. This opens up our lat. As you can see, I'm feeling my lat, trying to feel it open up completely. Now, as far as throwing goes today, Monday is going to be more of a low intent day, where it's day one. According to however you throw, if you're in high school and you're on your throwing schedule, day one is going to be day one regardless. So day one's going to be a lower intent day. I just had my bullpen a couple of days ago. I had a day of rest. Now it's my time to get back into it. So it's a lower intensity day as far as throwing. But everything else goes, we're gonna up the intensity a little bit. So the lifting and the mobility, okay? So today we're throwing low intensity. So expect around 50 to 60 total throws at a really low effort. I will film my throwing. Obviously, y'all's throwing is gonna be a little bit different. We tailor ourselves in our throwing programs specifically to our at-home. So what we need to focus on is gonna be our mechanical progression is what we focus on, which I give to you and I tell you what to do. It's your first 10 to 15 throws of the day. Mine's gonna be a little bit different, so don't copy me exactly on my mechanical progression, but you'll get to see exactly how my throwing is gonna play out today as well. All right, so don't mind my little thing I got up top right now, but I never ended up videoing my throwing yesterday. I still did it. It was very, very light, very low intent. I'm still pretty sore, I'm not gonna lie. But now we're going into day 2 of Velo Bootcamp. Today is gonna be a medium intent on my throwing. So everything else surrounding that is gonna be about the same. You'll notice that our low intent days on throwing are gonna be higher intensity in the weight room, and then our higher intent days on throwing are gonna be a little bit lower intensity, except for our bullpen days. Our bullpen days, we're just gonna kill our upper body. So our body has enough time to recover fully and recover better. So we're going into day 2 now, so stay tuned for that. But day 1 is a wrap. it.